It's just so much backstory. It's a lot of like setting up, giving you the history of the world. It very much opens up the view of how deep and real this world is. One of the things I really like about the series is that there's a lot of history there.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's almost like Tolkien's world.
Yeah, like he doesn't go into like super big detail like Tolkien does, but you can tell that he could. All right, welcome back to another episode of David and Gabby's Book Club. I'm David. This is my beautiful wife, Gabby.
Hey, everyone.
And this is a podcast where we just chill out, hang out, talk about books that we're reading and just book-related topics. So if that interests you, then welcome.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about An Echo of Things to Come, the second book in the Licanius trilogy. I got the name right, correct?
An Echo of Things to Come, yes.
I do a good job remembering the name of series overall most of the time, but individual books I really struggle with, so that's why I was confirming.
You kept saying an echo of what was lost. And the first book's The Shadow of What Was Lost, and the second one's An Echo of Things to Come, and you're like, what's the name of it? An Echo of What Was Lost? Like, no, An Echo of Things to Come.
Anyways, we'll go over a short synopsis and some spoiler-free talk, just discussing what we thought about different pieces of the book. And then after that, we will give you our ratings. And after our ratings, we'll get into spoiler talk.
Yep. And we're going to start with just like an overview, or not like an overview, but like just our overall thoughts of the book and the series as a whole, like spoiler free for everything, just in case, like if you're wondering if it's worth starting the series based on like, is the second book even good or the third book?
Sure.
We're going to just a couple minutes, give our thoughts, see if it's worth it. Then we're going to go into the review of the second book, which we won't be able to really talk much about the second book without spoiling the first one. So we'll give a clear distinction there, and then we're going to go into clear distinction of spoilers for the second book, like 3 layers.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So overall thoughts on the series.
Honestly, I mean, I've obviously finished it. This was, at the point of filming, we've both finished the series, or the trilogy. This was Gabby's first time reading it. This was my second time reading the trilogy. It's one of my favorite trilogies. I mean, granted, I don't have a whole lot of reading history and reading stuff under my belt, but like, it's a really enjoyable series. I really like it. The second book, though, I think is the weakest out of the 3. For me and my taste, it was a lot of like, it's just slow. It's a lot of building up, and it gives you a lot of backstory and history, and it sets up like why things are happening, why are they doing what they're doing, things like that. It explains a little bit from the first book of the questions that it brings up and things. So it's a lot of setup. There's still a lot that happens in it, like action-wise, and I really enjoy those moments. Like, reading it is a slog at points at the points where they're talking about backstory and history and the past, and like it's necessary to understand where you're at and where you're going, but it's hard for me to get through that stuff. But the other parts of it are good in terms of like the stuff that's actually happening today and not like backstory stuff.
That's so funny because that's the part that I really enjoyed about this book. Yeah. I liked getting a lot of the backstory. Yeah. And like the action parts were okay.
Yeah. That's kind of why I said like it really depends on who you are, because I want to know. I want to know because the first book leaves you with a lot of questions. Yeah. The piece about the second book that I was like, it didn't give you answers very concisely. It hopped around a lot, and so it's a little hard to follow at times. I think it was really helpful for you for this to be your second time reading things through after finishing the whole series. Yeah. And the books aren't short. The books are pretty long. Yeah. They're not hard reads, but they are very long books.
They're super lengthy, and I would definitely say if you're going to read them, don't take a break. Oh yeah. Between books, because unless you have a really great memory, you'd have a hard time.
Yeah, that's true. Things straight. I think I saw that people said that when I was first looking at reading the trilogy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they said like this is a very good one to read back to back to back. It's hard to like leave it and then come back, and because it like connects things from other books and stuff and links things and but I think this series is super worth it, even though this one's like a little bit like this one's my least favorite of the three, but it's so good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the book.
Yeah.
Not definitely. I'm glad I read it.
Yeah, that's for the people who have not
read any of them.
So we're going to start going into the review where it's going, where it's like, yeah, we're going to spoil the first book a little bit. So, because we can't really talk about it without spoiling it.
There you go.
That's your warning. But,
all right. You want to give a short synopsis of the book?
Yeah. So this one...
I think that you pick up a couple weeks later. I don't think you pick up right after. I forget exactly
where. I think it's
a
couple weeks.
Yeah, I think that there's been a span of time. So the first book ends on
like
so a super big battle of the blind coming to what's the city? Weir City.
They come to Endara. I forgot what the city is called.
Anyways, they attack the capital city that Weir's family rules, and Caden ends up saving everyone with this sword, Licanius.
Yep. They have no idea what it is.
They have no idea what it is. And at the very end, you're kind of... The big reveal at the end of the last one is Caden realizing that he is Arcane Devade. The big bad from 1,000 years ago that they had to put up the border to protect from.
Yep. Elinalon.
That's the city that the blind attacked. Yep. So you end the last book and you're like, wait, what? Caden's bad, but we like Caden. But wait, Caden doesn't have his memories, so maybe we actually don't like Caden.
Yep.
And so this book, you have a lot of different storylines.
Yeah. It picks up, I think the prologue is pretty soon after the first book, and then it like jumps after the prologue. I think it jumps a couple of weeks after the battle and everything. So because I think at the end of the first one, Davian goes with Ashel, or agrees to go with Ashel to what is it, Tol Athian, I believe. The other Tol. Yeah, the other Tol with her. And so whenever it comes back after the prologue, it's like it's already like he's already gone to
the Tol.
So it's like a few weeks after. So yeah, so with Weir, Davian, and Asha, it's more of like the aftermath of the battle. The world knows that the
augurs exist. So
the augurs exist. But they know like there's a threat to the north. They're trying to figure it out, like what's going on. So it's a lot of like what's going on. But some people don't believe it.
And like there's a lot of political things.
It's
Weir's gifted and...
Yeah, there's a lot of... Because he's now the... what's it called? I wanted to say Westminster, but it's not.
I don't remember.
Yeah, he took his dad's position as basically the one of the administrators of like watching over the gifted, and people don't like that.
They see that there is a conflict of interest, which, to be fair, there is.
Yeah, a little bit. So there's just a lot of, and then Asha is also trying to figure out where the shadows, like, they just disappeared.
Yeah.
So she's trying to figure out that stuff. So they're all doing like different things. They're doing the same thing in terms of they're wanting to fight the threat across the border, but they're doing it in different ways.
Yeah.
And then Caden's story is just figuring out, like, I'm Arcane Devade, and it's basically a lot of his memories come back. That's that's what the echo is. But,
yeah, that's what the echo is.
Yeah, the whole book is a story of Caden is basically like what happened in his past to get him here. Like I said in the overview, it's a little slow in that sense because you're going to a lot of his memories, and it's not just like telling you; it's like
the full memory,
the full chapter.
It's like you're there.
Is a flashback to his memory because they just like keep coming back. So it's similar to like the epilogue of the first one of when he's like he has that vision flashback to right when he went through the wells of Erised. No, I'm just joking. The wells of rebirth or renewal. The wells of renewal, I think is what it's called. Sure. Where he erases his memory. So it's similar to that in the sense that it just goes. You're there. It's a memory. Yeah. I don't know. What did you think of it like overall? Coming from the first book to the second.
First book to the second. Okay. The multiple points of view is never my favorite read.
Yeah.
And this one split. The first book had multiple points of view, but this one took that and multiplied it because now like characters that had been on the same point of view or same storyline are now on separate storylines. And so there was so much to follow. I really enjoyed everyone's story, but I definitely found myself wanting to know more about Caden's story and caring less about everyone else's story.
Yeah.
The storylines that you have to keep track of increase in this book.
Yeah. Yeah, basically because they're all separated. They're all doing, like I said, they're all doing different things. They're all everywhere. Instead of last time, I was like, there are multiple points of view, but everyone is pretty much at the same place.
Right. And then you're also, because Caden's having flashbacks, you're on multiple timelines. And so you're keeping track of a lot. It's a very intricate story, and I think you would really benefit from multiple reads.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would enjoy the story overall for the whole series more if I went back and read it again.
Yeah.
Which I think you experienced. What about you?
Yeah, you definitely get a lot more from reading it a second time. I think this one most of all because it's just so much backstory, so much like it's a lot of like setting up, giving you the history of the world, which it's a very like this. It very much opens up the view of how deep and real this world is. That's one of the things I really like about the series is that the whole world is very like there's a lot of history there, and
it's almost like Tolkien's world.
Yeah, like he doesn't go into like super big detail like Tolkien does, but you can tell that he could. Like it feels like a very real lived-in world. It might not seem as dense as Tolkien's world, but there's a lot of history and lore, and it gets into it in this book, which I really, really like in terms of just what all is going on. And so I think this one most of all benefits from multiple reads in terms of just like, okay, what is like just figuring out what's going on, what the world is, the history, all of that. So,
which is kind of funny because it's like this made up world I'm going to invest multiple reads in to understand. But like, how much do I invest in the real world and understanding what's happened in it? Have you ever thought about that before?
I've never thought about that. No. I mean, it's a really like, I don't know. I just really like these books. It's just a very fun read.
Oh yeah. I'd recommend it to anyone.
This one is the only one that was like kind of a drag at some points, but
I didn't think it was a drag. I just thought that it was a little tricky to keep track of.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's also I think it's just a theme for me in terms of like getting backstory and like side quests and stuff. It's like they're important sometimes, but I think all the time I'm always like I'm not.
He's not here for it.
Yeah, I'm not. It's just hard for me to get through. I'm always just like, all right, let's get back to the story. We're not getting back to the story yet. Okay.
But it adds to the story.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like most of the time, like in this one, it does like helps you understand what is going on.
Well, and even if it doesn't help you understand what's going on, it adds depth to the story. Most like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I keep thinking back to
Aragon.
No, to the Dandelion Dynasty, which we haven't done videos on. It's just like there was just so much like backstory and stuff that all the time I was just like, I just can't do it. Like if it weren't you pushing me and saying we can do episodes on it, then I would not have finished those books. I would have quit it like halfway through the first book.
Which I think that the storyline was actually really good, and I think there's a lot of things to like think about with those stories.
There's just a lot of like backstory and like literally you meet a new person and then he spends like 2 chapters talking about how the guy grew up.
But it's like you just enjoy the journey. You enjoy the journey. It's like you don't have to
read with a purpose.
Yeah.
It's like walking with a purpose. It's like, it's funny because like in real life, I'm totally fine with like not walking with a purpose and just relaxing and just we're here.
Hanging out. Yeah.
We're just here to be here.
We're here to enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy life. But then reading a book, I'm just like, let's get on with it. Like.
Yeah. Do you think that has something to do with like social media? Just how everything in our world is condensed.
I have no idea.
To like a blurb, and a lot of excess I feel like is cut out.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because attention spans are kind of.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I wonder. I haven't read a whole lot of older stories. Like I've read Pride and Prejudice. I've read The Lord of the Rings that were written a minute ago, but. Especially with The Lord of the Rings, that was a lot of, I feel like, backstory.
But even then, I don't think it was nearly as much as
the Dandelion Dynasty.
Dynasty.
Okay, that's fair.
Like Tolkien would take a pause for a couple pages, and then Dandelion Dynasty would take a pause for a couple chapters.
Yeah,
that are like each like 20 pages long. And you're just like, I've got like an hour and a half of reading before I get back to the actual story.
And I feel like a lot of the backstory there was very technical. It was very technical.
Yeah, a lot of, it was just, oof.
That's where I struggled with it. It wasn't story. Yeah, I mean, there was story tied into it. And, we're doing an echo of things to come.
But yeah, there's just a lot of that. So it just depends on if you're one of those people who enjoys that. But I still think it's great.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's much else to say without spoiler stuff, which I think we were flirting the line with how much we were spoiling, if anything. I don't think we.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like the actual story, we didn't.
If we overdid it, you guys can let us know.
Yeah, sorry. I think if you actually read it, I don't think that you would feel that it was spoiled.
But yeah, do you have any other thoughts before going into the ratings of like what you would rate this book?
Nah.
No.
Yeah, I think we should rate it.
All right.
I'm gonna go 3.75.
No quarter points.
You can do no quarter points, but I would really enjoy doing a quarter point. It's what my gut says. I don't understand what you have against quarter points.
You have to commit.
I am committing to 3.75.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Fine. 3.75. Reasoning.
It felt right.
It felt right. All right.
Well, it's one of those that I think, honestly, first, if I were reading this by myself and I didn't have you to kind of explain things to me, because I definitely, as I was going through this book, I was like, what is going on? And then David would explain it. And it was like, oh yeah, I really enjoyed that. And then like I would continue. And if I were to read this by myself, I think it would probably be a 3 or a 3.5.
Yeah.
But.
Not a 3.25?
Not a 3.25, nope. But because I read it with you and you had already read the series and I had somebody to like talk to about it and reason things out, I really enjoyed that. And so I think that added to the experience. So it's not a 4, but because I read it with you, I think it's a 3.75.
I would have given it, or not, I wouldn't. I'm giving it a 3.5. I actually had in my notes a 3, which
Really?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, you just went on a whole backstory rant, so maybe that's why.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely why it's lower. I think I gave the first book a 4. I can't remember though. We filmed it a while ago. We were like.
Can I tell you?
What?
Can I tell you a secret? That's not really a secret. I honestly don't remember what I've rated any book so far. No recollection. I also don't have a standard for my ratings. I really should. I really should sit down and say like a 4, I'm going to like recommend to everyone. A 5 is like, I can't stop thinking about it. But I don't have that. It's just
like Lightbringer.
It's, yeah. Yeah. But no, most of the time it's just my gut reaction.
Okay. I love her. I do.
Anyways, so should we get into spoiler talk?
Well, I mean, for mine, my 3.5 was just because, because the backstory was slow, but I was debating on a 3. I obviously had a 3 in my notes from when I did this. The notes was from a while back.
So really, would you say you gave it a 3.25?
No.
I don't understand what you have against it.
3.5. But I think just because like the backstory and stuff is slow, but there's a lot. It really makes the world very like a deep historical world that you really want to learn about and know. And it's just, I really enjoy this world. And I think a big reason is because a lot of the history of the world and most of that is in this book. And the ending is wild. It's a crazy ending. It's a really good ending in terms of yeah.
The endings are good.
The endings of all of these books are so good. They're just so good.
With the brief encounter I've had with Brandon Sanderson,
and
Mistborn, I see a lot of similarities. Between the two, including the endings. I think Islington gives you more throughout the book.
Yeah,
but
I think it's spread out a lot more. I think if this was with Sanderson, like all the history would have been dumped on you in like the last like 3 or 4 chapters. But this one is like a lot of it is just spaced out. Sanderson just like he just keeps things super slow and then like just dumps it all at the end.
That is, I mean, we've only read the first thing.
We've only read the Mistborn, but I feel like
that was definitely the trend.
In Mistborn, that was just like it was just very slow moving story, and then just
all of it.
Yeah, here's a dumpster of information. Yep.
Okay, let's get into spoiler talk.
Yep. This spoiler warning for those who have not read An Echo of Things to Come. Some of you might, some of you might have been upset for us. We talked a lot about the Echo of Things to Come, but now we're really getting into spoilers. So if you thought we did spoilers, we didn't. Now we're going to get into spoilers.
I think that if you were to like read the back of the book, we didn't say anything that wouldn't have been on the back of the book.
I guess that's true.
So Weir. Do you think that he should have the position that he has?
Ooh. I think yes, because he's not like, I guess I don't remember or don't know the exact political maneuvering in terms of like if there's checks and balances on his position. You know what I mean?
I think there was prior to him finding that secret oath stone.
That's true. Yeah.
But once he found that secret oath stone, it was like, because there's just like so much bureaucratic red tape that he has to go through to do anything. I mean, the whole book, he wants to like reinforce the border and he can't convince anybody to do it.
Yeah, that's true. I think because of the checks and balances, I agree with him in the sense that he's almost the perfect man for the job because he obviously doesn't have the discrimination against the gifted, because that's the biggest problem is that they're all being oppressed because there's a strong
prejudice against them, the ordinary people previously
just
being
who they are.
oppressed.
Yeah. They're just,
but I mean, like, not just because of who they are, but because of what the gifted,
what they've done in the past.
As a whole did in the past.
Yeah.
So there's like resentment.
Yeah, but it wasn't
there.
Weir. Weir didn't do that.
Well, I know Weir didn't do that, but I'm saying that there's reason other than just who they are. It's what they did as well.
Yeah.
But now they're doing the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And so...
so I think I agree with Weir in the sense that he is the perfect person for the job, with the caveat that those checks and balances are in place. With the Oath Stone, that is a big gray line.
I know.
Or gray area.
Like, reading it from his perspective, you can see that he has really good motives for what he's doing. But I think that anybody can have their, like, what they think is really good motives, but that doesn't mean that you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's like, as a whole, that's a terrible thing in terms of having the Oath Stone and being able to control people like that. Big no. Like, get rid of them. That should automatically disqualify you for that position. But like, Weir is trustworthy for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, Weir, he doesn't use it for bad. At least he doesn't intend to use it for bad. Like, he almost kills his mom.
How did he almost kill his mom? I forget.
He told her to, like, run and go, and so she, like, had to leave the wall or whatever, and she was almost killed by monsters because she was trying to leave instead of running back to safety. Remember that? Or something like that.
Vaguely,
yeah, something like that. So he had to tell her to come back because, he almost killed her.
And that's a good example of, like, you can do something with the best of motives, but that doesn't make it right. And, like, it comes back to the point, like, I think, like, Weir's whole story with the Oath Stone, with his dad being controlled, it's like, is having control over somebody's actions ever an appropriate thing? Like, if you had the option to control somebody's actions, would it ever be right to do that?
Yeah, no. All right.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying it's like...
Yeah, and it's so tricky, too, because it's like, was it Aaron?
Yeah, Aaron.
Controlled his dad. And he did it out of, like, good...
Controlled Weir's dad. Yes.
Controlled Weir's dad because...
Yeah. Elosian.
Yeah, he had been beating Aaron, and Aaron, I feel like, initiated it out of self-defense, but then he continued it from a point, I think, of self-preservation, right? Like, he was going to be hunted forever. Yeah. If he had just let him go.
And he would have killed more augurs.
And he would have killed more augurs. And, like...
Yeah, it's the same.
Would he have killed his son? Would he have killed Weir?
I think so. Yeah, I think he said that he was intending to.
And so, because Aaron controlled him, like, a lot of bad things didn't happen. Yeah. But at the same time, like, at the end of the first book, when Weir's dad is like, I don't want this. Please don't let this happen. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
That was nuts. It was just, that was awful. Yeah, it's so tough because, like I said, I don't think that shouldn't exist in terms of someone in that power should not have, or that position should not have that power of the Oath Stone. But it's tough. That's just a tough situation. Because, like, I think Weir is really good for that position, but that ability is, like, you shouldn't
I don't think anyone's above making a mistake, though.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying, like, he should be trusted with that
indefinitely.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know how to say it. It's just...
I feel like the president in certain, like, the United States of America's president, scratch that. I don't know enough about the political system. I'm not going to get into that example. Can you edit that out?
We don't have to, but yeah, we can just move on. Okay. But I do think you're right. I do think the president, like, in times of war, gets different powers. But I'm not a political science guy. So I learned that in elementary school, or like in middle school, maybe high school, touched on some of that stuff, but it was a long time ago. All right. I don't remember that.
Part of the story that super confused me was Shammaeloth and El.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't. Well, I mean, the characters themselves are confused about who is good and who's bad.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of where the confusion lies. Because instead of being presented, Shammaeloth is bad and El is good, and this is Shammaeloth and this is El, and this is how they're manipulating the world, we're presented with Shammaeloth is bad, El is good, this is El, and like El's ultimate purpose is to give people free will, I guess, like that destiny isn't a thing.
Yeah.
But in our reality, El ends up being Shammaeloth, or we are pretty sure that El is Shammaeloth.
Shammaeloth.
Whatever. I don't know, that whole situation and like the whole purpose behind Caden doing what he's doing and his backstory, because that's what Caden's backstory is rooted in, is this whole overarching like conflict between good and evil. The fact that I was confused about the good and evil in the world was like, it hurt my brain sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember it being a little confusing the first time. But I mean, it makes sense. Like, he was deceived. Like, that's why he did those terrible things, is because he was deceived by Shammaeloth.
Right, but
thinking
then,
it was El.
But what I struggled with was, can you hold this?
Yeah.
What I struggled with was because it's like hopping around in history, like the flashbacks. And I feel like the flashbacks aren't even in order. I was like, okay, in this point in history, is he deceived? Or is he not deceived? Or is it before deception? You know, I feel like you have before deception, you have during deception, and then you have like figuring things out not under deception. And so I almost need to like earmark all of the backstories of Caden in one of those three categories to help me understand what's going on. Because that really impacts how you read the story. Yeah. Because there are definitely like some flashbacks where Caden is doing certain things with the Venerate, and it feels like it's a good thing. Like what they're doing, there's like companionship, and he's getting over like the loss of his wife, and he finally belongs somewhere, and they're doing something for a greater purpose. And so it's like that feels good. Yeah. But in the overarching storyline, what they were doing was bad, because who they were doing it for was not El.
Yeah. I think that's why I had a hard time reading those parts, because, at least the first time, because I didn't understand exactly what was going on in terms of, okay, who is El? Is that Shammaeloth? Wait, what is going on? Like, is this... Mm-hmm. I was a little confused there too, if I remember correctly, for the first time reading it. But obviously the second time, again, I think it's better the second time because you understand a little bit more. It is helpful, if I remember, like towards the end, it almost like is a like summary in terms of like, I was deceived by Shammaeloth. I thought Shammaeloth was El, but
he wasn't.
He wasn't.
Yeah, like looking back now, I can make those distinctions, but in the middle of reading it for the first time, it's just, what is going on? I almost need to take notes. Kind of a situation. And being able to talk to you, like if you're going to read this book, I would almost say like find a reading partner to like read with, so that you can have that dialogue. And at least if you're a verbal processor, that really helped me out.
Yeah. Going back to Weir, what was your thoughts on just the whole conflict with his mom?
Oh.
Yeah.
His mom. Oh, I appreciate maybe that she really stands for what she believes in. Yeah. But that she was willing to write her son off just because he ended up having abilities that he had no say in, whether or not he had, because of prejudice in a past life, and the fact that she is an administrator who's supposed to be overseeing these people who she has a prejudice against.
Yeah.
That was slimy.
Mm-hmm.
And just like how she was actively trying to thwart him, you know, like keeping his sister from him, lying about all of the documents in his house, trying to convince like the whole court to disagree with him. Yeah, I understand her not appreciating him having that position.
Yeah.
Because of the conflict of interest. Like, I understand that. But I think she's an awful mom.
Well, it's just crazy how, like, just how deeply rooted the prejudice and discrimination is like, in her life, to the point where, like, Weir is essentially not even her son, in the sense that because he's gifted and it has and she was she found out that Elosian was being controlled, so that just like threw her off the edge in terms of like, absolutely not, that none of them can be trusted. And so it's
right,
Weir's,
and like,
it's Weir's fault.
Yeah, I feel like she had that prejudice. She had that distance with Weir before Weir changed the rules for the gifted, you know?
Yeah.
So he had done nothing, you know, like as a parent, I feel like if your child grows up and murders someone, like you're gonna have to draw some boundary lines and like love your child, but like agree with discipline. Right. Yeah. And that is not the scenario that she was put in.
Yeah.
He had power. He had no say over whether or not he got that power. He had not done anything with that power. Yeah. And simply because he had it, she wrote him off. Yeah. Like, that's what I don't like. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Kind of bummed that she died, though, at the end, you know?
Did she die? I can't remember.
Yeah, because so... Oh, yeah. The blind had attacked the fortress.
I do remember that now.
And they were going to give the people a proper burial, but then the, like, creatures that stabbed them end up turning them into, like, creature zombies. Yeah. And they, like, came back to life and killed her before they went home. What really sucked about it is that, like, you thought that they made it out of the conflict. Yeah. And then you didn't. And then they didn't. Yeah. And if they hadn't have drugged their feet, then I didn't like her dying. I feel like she was on a redemptive arc, but
yeah, I really enjoyed when she was like getting onto him for not doing something about this conflict over here that he never knew about. I think it was like was it Rohin, who like completely destroyed Tol Shen.
I don't remember this story.
The augur who like whatever he said you had to do, basically. Yes. Yeah, so like they had reports from the village, and it had reached his mom, but his mom never told Weir. Remember that? Uh-huh. And so now she's like holding that against him for not doing anything about that, when
she didn't tell him about it.
She didn't tell him that there is like actual evidence to that one being legit. And then he was just like, he basically like told her off of like, you can't hold me accountable for something that you didn't tell me for. Like, that is on you, not on me. Essentially. It was like, I was just like, oh, get her. Yeah. But yeah, I do like, another reason why I just really enjoy this series is that Weir has all this power and authority, and he's in this really high position, but like he still doesn't know what he's doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. In the sense that he's still very, you can feel how young he is, how young and inexperienced he is. For sure. And he feels that, like, he puts a face on because he's in that authority and he needs to act like he knows what he's doing, but in reality he doesn't, and he's still learning and he's making mistakes, and he is stressing about his position. I don't know if you feel that a lot in a lot of books. Like, a lot of times when characters get that position or whatever, especially after like a time passes, they're usually like know what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
there was a level of like humility
and authenticity to it, I think.
Yeah.
You feel that he's just very much learning and making mistakes and stumbling through his position, and stuff like that. So it's just a good series. It's a great series.
Is it Asha?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever she's going down into the tunnels, I was anxious every time.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what's going to happen? Why is she going down here? This is a bad choice.
When she gets stuck
it feels
in the dark.
Yeah. Do you know is it like a Progressive commercial where there's all of these, like it's a horror film, like parody where all of these girls are like running from a guy with a chainsaw.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, let's run into this like shed with all of these tools like axes and stuff. That seems like a good decision.
Yeah.
And
I think it's
like,
maybe State Farm.
Somebody's commercial. And
yeah.
That's what I felt like the whole time. I was like, Asha, you're making bad choices.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like it's worth it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like so she ended up finding out some good stuff, but yeah, especially when she was like stuck in the dark and didn't
That was
go.
intense. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like I needed to know what happened like immediately. That was intense.
Yeah, we really do have very different reactions. I'm pretty sure that took me a couple days to get through.
Yeah, we've said it before, but literally when things get intense and just crazy, I cannot put the book down, and I like read like twice as fast. Mm-hmm. Like I just like blaze through it, and like I need to finish this now. Right now. And then Gabby like goes like 4 times slower and just like can't. She needs breaks. She needs to breathe. She needs to maybe go read another book.
It's really helpful for me if I know the outcome of whatever situation I'm in. And so like with Asha in the tunnels, if I had known that she was going to make it out and that it was going to be fine, I wouldn't have needed to know all the details. But just like knowing that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
I mean, you know that she survives eventually because Davian told her, like the future Davian told her she's not always going to be a shadow.
Well, maybe he meant that one day she's going to die.
So that was coming.
I don't know.
The whole time I was just like, how the heck is she going to not be a shadow?
I wasn't thinking that at all. I was thinking like, how is she going to make it out? Is he going to kill her?
I don't know.
Speaking of people dying, Davian. Let's talk about the ending.
Oh, gosh.
Oof.
Yeah. That twist is nuts.
That twist was nuts.
It's crazy how, like, he does the same thing at the end of both books.
Yeah.
The same kind of twist, but it doesn't, like, it works both times, if that makes sense. Because, I mean, we filmed the Strength of the Few review, and I don't know if we've posted it already. I can't decide if I'm going to just do Licanius or post the Will of the Many and Strength of the Few and then come back to Licanius. So I don't know. But that was like one of my complaints is like they both ended pretty much the same way, but it just like it didn't work out in terms of like it was not satisfying because it was like you just did the same thing that you did last book. But he did it in this series too. They're written by the same authors, but it works this time. You're just like, you finish the first book and you're like, what? And then you finish the second book and you're just like, what?
I know. Yeah.
Oh, and just like, and that even gives even more meaning to the prologue in the first book of just like the fact that, yeah, it's just crazy that he's that guy that Shammaeloth in the very beginning is like, you're false because this one guy told me so, and he's just like, you believe him, like he lied, he lied because you cut off his head and hung it on the gate of Imladris.
Yeah.
And now that was Davian. It even gives even more meaning to that like pause and like sideways glance at the skull at the gate in the first book when they go into what's it called?
is it
Dylanus.
Dylanus, yeah.
Yeah, when they go into Dylanus.
Some of
Caden's
the
just like-
intricacies of like the time travel and that contraption and what happened to the Lyth and all of that is over my head. Like, I feel like I have a very basic understanding of con and the essence.
Yeah.
I understand like essence comes from you, and con you like take essence from other people, right?
Yeah.
But like the intricacies of how those like con machines work, when he was going into that was like one of those technical backstory situations where I was like, I'm in for history lessons, but I'm not in for like a magical science lesson.
Yeah. I mean, all I understood from the Lyth, the reason they became the Lyth from the durations, was it durations? Durations.
Durations, the like people that he basically killed off.
Yeah.
Like
the people who became the Lyth.
Yeah.
All I remember, all I know is that they were trying to make something that
like that con wouldn't affect them.
Yeah, so they can use the
time travel
thing and not have all of their essence sucked out of them and kill them.
But then
all of their essence. I can't remember exactly what made them Lyth.
I don't know. I told you it was above my head. I didn't understand it when I read it.
Something about the essence, their essence is just like about to explode or something, right? I can't remember. And Res Kartha is the only place that they can survive. Because that's why the making them shadows like cuts off their
essence
reserve. Yeah, essence reserve. I'd have to reread that for a third time. But just all of that history, like the history of Nethgalla, the Lyth, the Siphon, like all of this stuff. It's just...
All right, and I don't like that Nethgalla just like pops in and then kills that guy at the very beginning. That's supposed to help him figure out his past. I feel like he just did that to make it like hard for Caden to figure out what was going on in his past, because that just felt unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like once you get to know Nethgalla's backstory, it's like, what did she have against that guy?
No, she killed him because
she didn't want him to have the memories.
Well, because she didn't want him to go through Caden's plan. She wanted to do her plan and be with Caden. Because Caden was planning on killing everyone, including himself. And like him going to the plan was for him to go into that last tributary to hold the thing down while Alaris went and finished the jobs and killed everyone. And then he would come and they'd kill each other. But then Nethgalla was like, no, Caden, you can't die. I'm going to find another way. And so she tried to find another way to where Caden can live and they can live happily ever after forever, when that was never going to happen. But
Nethgalla's like this annoying little side story that just like keeps popping in and making things messy.
Yeah. Trying to think of like, she's like a Peeves, but
yeah. Oh, Nethgalla.
But yeah, even in like the whole twist of her being Brashada and making Asha
stab her, and
that was like heartbreaking in terms of like her trapping Asha essentially to be in the tributary, because that's just brutal. Those tributaries are nasty things.
Yeah.
They're gross. I remember when the first chapter of when he like opened the torture chamber for, I can't remember who it was. Was it Alaris that he released?
I don't remember.
It might have been Alaris that he released that first time. And you see the tributary for the first time. I'm just like, what is that thing? Like, what?
Yeah.
Giant wolf head that's like torturing someone constantly. Yeah.
Okay. Any other likes, dislikes, thoughts, comments, concerns?
Well, we haven't even talked about Davian at all.
Oh.
Other than the fact that Caden killed him.
Honestly, Davian's storyline was like meh to me. Like Rohin, like coming, Rohin, that augur guy being bad and everything. Cool, but of all the storylines, I was like, eh.
Well, I mean, him getting the whole ending scene
of like trusting Caden.
Well, no, the whole ending, like the climax of the whole book was just like really good. The whole the conflict at the wall.
Once he
Like,
got to the wall,
that entire like storyline there was crazy. Just them being trapped in not Talon
on the other side of the border.
Yeah, on the other side of the border. It was just insane. Like with Ishel,
being stabbed by that bird thing.
yeah, the Elatai. But yeah, them being trapped on the other side of the border and Ishel having those visions, hearing the Elatai and communicating with them was crazy. And just like Fessy freaking out after they were the fact that they were captured and like stayed on the other side of the boundary was just like I for sure thought they were going to get back.
Yeah.
I for sure thought they were going to get back. And then the fact that they were trapped on the other side, I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, what the heck are they going to do? Like, what are they supposed to do?
Yeah.
On that side. It was nuts. But then also you find out that the Tol Shen, they knew all those visions too.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And why didn't they act on it again?
They were basically like, they had the justification of they can't change the future. It's already been proven. Like there's nothing they can do to stop it. So they just pretty much politically maneuvered
so that they would be fine.
So that they were, well, not that they would be fine, but they would have more power.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was dirty.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like intentionally not pursuing the border conflict.
Yeah.
But also stemming from like it all went back, I feel like, to the gifted being looked down on. You know, because they had been stripped of power because they, right? Am I remembering that right?
I don't quite remember. But yeah, basically I think they knew that Elinalan was going to be like attacked and that shadows were going to use vessels or something along those lines, where they knew that because the Tol Shen gifted helped the fight before like that whole treaty was in place. Like Tol Athian was like, no, we're not going to fight unless you give us assurances of like peace essentially or something. And then Tol Shen was just like, no, we'll fight. But like the only reason they did that was because they knew Tol Athian like wouldn't, and they would get like more political trust essentially. They just did a lot of like sleazy things, which is just like, ugh. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan. And then Rohin came in and just killed the guy. Just crazy.
Yeah, I did not like him. I mean, you're not supposed to like him. He's an awful character.
Yeah. I don't remember what happened to him.
They found that vessel that stopped his powers and had him in a cell. And then I don't remember.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that what happened? Or did he kill himself?
I remember what happened. I don't remember if it happens in this book or not, so I'm not going to say.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah. I mean, we both read them both, but I honestly can't remember if you find out in this book or the next book, so I'm just not going to say. So, yeah. Is there anything else?
I mean, yeah, but I think that I'm good.
I do think it was just like a good going like all the way back to Weir and his mother. It's just a good like, I don't know, just the whole discrimination and prejudice thing of like, there's just so many people that have prejudices against other people because of things they can't control, you know? Yeah. And just a lot of like hate. I mean, it's just like one of those arguments or like issues that's been around forever. Like,
that's probably not going to go anywhere.
Yeah. It's just that's just an illustration of that in this book. Mm-hmm. Just the frustration of like even a mother like not even trusting her son because of the prejudice. Mm-hmm. But I honestly don't know if she was turning a corner or not. Yeah.
She was definitely on a redemptive arc. I mean, we'll never know because she died.
Yep.
Maybe he just couldn't decide.
Darn Elatai zombies.
All these zombies. If you've read An Echo of Things to Come, tell me what storyline you liked the best in the comments down below. I think I'd be interested to see what one was your favorite. I definitely liked Caden's.
What one was my favorite?
Yeah.
I really liked Asha's whole storyline.
Really?
Yeah. I think that would be my favorite. Just like the whole looking for the shadows, fighting, like wanting to go and find out about them, and then attacking Brashada, who is Nethgalla, and then having to having to sacrifice and go into the tributary. Like everything she did is just like, I don't know, that was just really good.
She's so brave.
Yeah.
She's so brave. Yeah. I really liked Caden.
Yeah.
And finding out who he was and like that whole struggle. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let us know what your favorite was. And I think with that, we will catch you in the next one.
Yep.
See you later.
See ya.
Yeah, now it's a